You know, Amir, you have said that Satan could kill our spirit without the hope of his return. I think that's what breaks my heart is that, and I've said this many times on this program, that the churches have kind of dropped this topic. That's why you have a big crowd where you go, and our conference has a big turnout, because there's the remnant across the country that wants to hear what you have to say, and even what this program has to say, because the churches are silent. And again, Satan could kill our spirit without the message here of eschatology.
Exactly. I get more and more people from literally all around the world. And it's small numbers, and they're not even, 10 in one town, but you see that God has his secret army spread all around the world, and together we can make a big difference if we continue not to be, I would say, depressed by the lack of interest, but to be persistent, but to continue sounding our voices in any form of media and communication that we can find. I believe I just discovered a couple of weeks ago Facebook Live, so I'm not going to hesitate using it. We need to understand there are so many channels of communication. There are very few that God, I believe, opened their eyes and caused them to understand the times and the seasons. The Bible says that if the trumpet will not make a clear sound, how then the people will get ready? We must make a clear sound. I believe that we are trumpets that God is using to let the people understand and get ready, because this is the ultimate point of teaching Bible prophecy, is to prepare, not to scare, and so to get ready. We want to be those brides that are having oil in their lamp, that are there standing ready, knowing the times and the season, not missing his visitations once again. It's so staggering, just the thought that people are not going to be ready for his coming again to take his bride. Well, what an awful thought it is to think you're a Christian, yet not know and understand anything that is going on and not deal with that we need to deal in order to understand those things. That's why I commend you, and I want to encourage you not to stop those conferences, and we will do whatever it takes to help you to continue, because there's very few people doing that, and there is a very short time left.
As you were just speaking, Amir, I just thought this is one of the main reasons we're connected to you, is that you have such a passion for this, and you understand that regardless of what the body of the church seems to be doing as they go the other direction about prophecy, we understand the remnant has still got to speak up, and I encourage the listeners to really take what you just said to heart and not fail to speak up about it when you can, and to add the prophetic element into conversations. I spoke at a church in Calgary, Alberta, a few months ago, 18 months ago, and later found out that the pastor himself told me that as I spoke on prophecy that morning, he realized it was an element he had not included in most messages, and now he's speaking every Sunday night on prophecy. So we never know who we're going to affect. And dear brother, his name's Ron, and dear brother, and I'm just so grateful to have been in the right place at the right time. It was nothing to do with me. It's just the fact that I was willing to speak up about this issue, and everybody out there should be doing it.
I want to transition just a little bit here, because as everybody knows, we've got a U.S. election coming up here in just a few weeks. We'll be talking about that at our conference Saturday, October 15th, Grace Church, Eden Prairie, outside of Minneapolis. And Amir, it was either you or Jack Hibbs who said, many think our future will be determined by the November election, and how foolish a statement that is. It's true to a certain extent. On a human level, our future is determined by an election, but ultimately our future is not really determined by an election. But give me the perspective that a lot of Israelis have on this election.
To be honest with you, just as Americans feel, the majority feel that these are not the best options you had, so are the Israelis view the elections in America. First of all, we are pretty shocked that from all the candidates, these are the two that America eventually came up with. However, the media in Israel by far prefers Hillary Clinton, because she's the devil that you know versus the devil that you don't know.
The media here, too.
Well, I know that. That's why they're the Medianite. They are all over. They're the same liberal style, mean of communication of the prince of the air. However, if you ask the average person in Israel, the only problem they have with Donald Trump, it's the fact that we really don't know who he is. I think that he's way more familiar in America. And because the only way Israelis can understand who he is through the media, and the media is not in favor of him at all, this is why I believe he gets very bad rep all around the world and not in America. Now, of course, people like me who travel often to America and who are involved in the evangelical circles, and we know who Mike Pence is as well, and we know who's surrounding Donald Trump right now and all of that, we have a completely different view of him. But the average Israeli is really puzzled by the person called Donald Trump. And this is why maybe even Benjamin Netanyahu signed the deal with this administration for the next 10 years rather than wait for someone else to come into the White House, because the uncertainty of who will sit there, and if it's Trump, what is Trump going to be like, was so big that people pressed Netanyahu here at home to close the deal now, or else there will be a much worse deal in the future.
But Amir, what is a certainty is that the left is no friend of Israel. They will sell her out in a nanosecond, including Hillary Clinton. You mean Israelis don't know that?
There is no doubt. Look, if you brought me back now to 4 years ago or even 8 years ago, the Israelis would be by an overwhelmingly majority vote for the Republican candidate. There's no doubt about it. When we come to these elections, the problem that the Israelis have in their mind is, who is Donald Trump? We don't know him. We don't know a thing about him. He's not even a politician. We don't have a record that we can see. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I believe that he's a much better choice than Hillary Clinton. There is no doubt in my mind. And whenever I talk to Israelis, I always keep telling them that. But the uncertainty is not because they love Clinton so much. Not at all. It's because with her, you at least know what you get. With him, you don't know. This is, as far as the Israelis concerned, that's how they view things. I believe with all of my heart, 100%, that everything is better than Hillary Clinton at this point, and everything is better than any candidate that the Democrats can ever provide. Certainly after 8 years.
After 8 years.
After 8 years of the worst decline of America in almost every area of life. Whether it's international, whether it's financial, whether it's moral, every area, America has never seen such a plunge in its level of morals and security in all levels as it has experienced in the last 8 years. There's no doubt about it.